Hi everyone, I'm Glenn Flair from Boardgames and Bourbon, and right now we are going to talk about Sundae Split by Renegade Games. This is a brand new game that is 2 to 5 players, 20 minutes, and I have to tell you that what appears to be a game about a ice cream making shop really belies a game that is almost like a stare down at the OK Corral, where you are outwitting your opponent. You're making them swallow their own poison pill and using their greed against them to ultimately win in this game. That is a set collection game where you're trying to end when all the cards are used up and have the most points. Okay, so let me tell you what is in the game, then how to play the game, and then my thoughts. Okay, so first of all, the game box is very small. The art is great. It's a matte finish, which I think really adds to it. I'm not a big fan of glossy boxes anymore, but I love this matte finish. Also shows up well on the camera. Okay, so you get that. You're going to get a little instruction booklet, very few rules, and it has a little cheat sheet right on the back of how to score the game and play it. They also are going to give you these cards for the different player counts. One here is going to tell you the card counts itself. This is going to tell you how to set up the game. And this is going to tell you how the round sequence works. Fantastic. Then you're going to have a whole fistful of cards, man. A whole bunch of cards. Now, depending on the number of players, you're going to use a different amount. But what's going to happen is basically your cards are going to consist of different types of ice creams. You're going to get vanilla, strawberries, and chocolates over here. And they're going to be different amounts. This is worth 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, but they're also worth 2. In this game, you're going to, by the end of the game, you're going to score how many you have. So you get a 1 for each of these, and then you're going to get a bonus score if you have one of every color, okay? You're also going to get sprinkle and whipped cream cards, and if you get a set of these by the end of the game, you are going to get 5 points. You're going to get bananas, and whomever has the most bananas will get 10 points. Whoever has the second most gets 5, and the person with the least gets 0. You're going to get cherries, and cherries are multipliers. And lastly, you're going to have these vegetable cards that are negative points. Now, okay, set collection. Where's the twist in the game? The twist in the game is, let's say you have 5 players. Whomever is player number 1 needs to create 5 piles of cards. 5 piles for all the 5 players. The piles do not have to be equal in number. However, within these 5 piles, you need to have a certain amount of cards face down, okay? So let's suppose like I had all these cards and I'm trying to create a pile. Let's say we're playing a 2-player game. In a 2-player game, you're taking 6 cards and 2 have to be face down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I have these 6 cards. Now, what would my logic be when I'm trying to do this? I have a whole fistful of cards, and I'm trying to split them up for me and my opponent. Now, the other thing is, once you make the piles, your opponents get to choose what their cards are. So I might say to myself, okay, well, at this point in the game, I really need a strawberry because a strawberry will help me complete a multicolored set and give me a bonus. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it face down because I don't want them to realize I need it. However, I do want my opponent to get suckered and take this negative 1 point. I'm going to make it my opponent's face down card. With that all being said, these really don't matter much. So I need to do something to attract my opponent to take the negative card. I don't want to give that person a banana because that's not a 5-pointer. So maybe I'll put that face up in my pile, hoping I get to keep it. But I'm going to offset it by cards I don't need. And I'm going to give him 2 cards over there. I'm going to give him 3 cards. So he ends up with a pile, let's say, that is, what is this? Vanilla, chocolate, whipped cream, and a face down. That looks like there's a lot of scoring opportunities. And oh no, I only have 1 card. Why would you ever choose this? Because I really want the strawberry. But he doesn't know that. And so maybe they would go with this. Or maybe they would figure I'm trying to psych them out, so they would actually go for this. And so what ends up happening is you end up, yes, playing the game, but you end up playing your opponents as well. So that quality really adds that face-off element to it that I think really brings this onto a new level. Okay, my thoughts about the game. Final. The design. The layout is very legible, very easy to read, rules are done very well, stated very well, so you understand it easily. The art, I think the art is great. I would give the art, the art is always great. I give it a 8 out of 10. I give the layout a 10 out of 10. And I give the component equality a 10 out of 10. The mood of the game, I would say the fun, youthful Sunday shop environment counterpoints the strategy underneath it. So I think that's a nice quality. The complexity, it can totally be complex because you really have to be sure you know how you're scoring it, and you have to learn your other players. So in that way, it's kind of like playing poker, which is very complex. And the deceptive quality to it, I guess you could call it bluffing, but I don't like to use the word bluffing, really add to it. So, like I said before, I would hesitate to call this a family game because to me, that means like, mom and dad playing with the kids. This is something two adults would love. I'm having a great time with this game. I'm going to pick up a copy for myself. That is called Sunday Split. Guys, enjoy that one. I think it's great for a holiday gift, okay? Take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon.